We're back, folks, with another very busy day here. I'm putting this filter sock back on the end of the pump line. We got that washed out. So we've had a significant run over the past several days, and we ended up with a good 3 gallons per tap. I'm getting the RO ready to run here, putting a filter in. I change these pre-filters every 500 gallons or every time I run it. Membranes are expensive enough where you got to protect them from any debris that could get in there, so it's worth paying the price for these filters. Get our pump ready. Again, this is the little Echo pump. I believe the smallest one they make. It has a little 21cc motor, and it pumps it up 350 feet in 1-inch line with roughly 30-40 feet of head. Their tank is about the fullest it's been, just a few inches from the top, so this is going to be several pumps for us. We've got a 380 gallon tank up above. So I'll hook this suction line onto the pump. That's what pulls it out of the bottom of the tank. And this here is our pump line that runs 350 feet up the hill behind the sugar house. So I have banjo fittings on these, so they're a quick connect deal. Flip the valve at the bottom of the tank here to run into the pump, and then I loosen this cover to get the air out of the pump chamber there, allow the sap in. So here we are up at that 380 gallon tank. We've got the pump started, and it pumps in here pretty quick. Once I get a couple inches in this tank, I go ahead and fire the RO, and I'm able to do the fire up process on the RO in the time it takes for the pump to pump all that up. So I check my valves good, make sure everything's all set. If the sap doesn't have a place to go out of the RO, it will blow lines off if you forget to open a valve or give it somewhere to go. So we just fired the low pressure feed pump, and so we're watching this low pressure gauge to hold a steady 40 psi or above is what I like to see. Basically, if that needle's straight up and down or to the right a little bit, at that time I'll go ahead and fire the high pressure pump, which brings the pressure up to a maximum of 250 psi. I usually run it around 200 psi, and this right here is our regulation valve that I'll be adjusting to tighten it down and bring us up to the proper psi. Right now we're just waiting for the sap to push out all the permeate or water that's currently in the membranes. This is our hydrometer, and so I check the percent solids this way. So right now I'm dumping it on the ground, but when I get the right percent solids, usually 1.5 or above, I'll start sending it into the sugar house, and then we'll continue to tighten it down to where we get about 7 to 8% solids. So here we are, not high enough yet. It's still at 0. So I'm just going to tighten this down a little bit See if we can get that sugar up just a little bit to where we can flip our valves and send it in the sugar house. So I have enough sugar now where that valve on the top left goes in the sugar house and the other one dumps it on the ground. So I've closed that one and opened the one to the sugar house. We're just above 100 psi here, so I'm gonna take that handle and tighten it down. You can see that gauge climbing. 150 is straight up there. We're at 150 now. And I'm gonna push it to about 190, 195, and maybe eventually up to 200. So you saw that valve handle. That should be closed almost the entire way, and then what actually regulates the pressure is that spring valve that I showed on the other video that's beside that handle. So I'm just tightening that handle down right now, and my valve is preset and I can make my fine-tune adjustments with that. You get a little squeal every so often, and that is that pressure valve, so you just have to back the handle off a little bit. We'll give our concentrate one more check here. See how we're doing on percent. So our pressure is looking good. I have this pressure valve late in the system, and I have another one over here early in the system, so I can keep a good eye on what it's doing. We have been pumping up this entire time. Our tank's almost full. We've concentrated a fair bit already, got a good head start. This here is the permeate or water coming off those membranes. So I built this gauge the other day. What we got is a 5/16 sap line running back from the bottom of the tank. And then I put this on here, clear tube, running up this board to about the height of the tank. And then we can see where our level's at here pretty easily. So this is the evaporator feed tank. This is the sap coming off of the RO, around 7.5%, 8% today. And then it feeds down into the back of the evaporator. So we're gonna punch the flues. Right back there you can see those flues. So we're just gonna stick the rod in there. Got bristles on the end here. So I go up in between each flue several times, and the reason for this is soot builds up on the bottom of those and actually insulates the pan from the fire, and you want the fire to transfer as much heat to that pan as you can possibly get for a good hot fire. Once that's done, I turn on the fan, close the damper most of the way just so I can start that fire without it blowing it out. I stack small kindling pretty tight on the right side, put a little bigger chunks on the left side there. Then I'll just take my torch, and it usually takes about a minute or two to get it to catch on that kindling, and then go from there. So thank you folks for sticking with me on this one. I will pick up from here on the next video and show you the process in the sugar house here from the time we fire the evaporator to bottling the syrup. So make sure and stay tuned for that. So here's that blower fan underneath. I'll use this damper to control the airflow. When I've got it fired up, I have that open most of the way, and it's controlled with a switched outlet over on the wall.